Stop saying it.
I know.
All right, you're hot.
Go. All right, great. This is the home screen. We have fingerprint, NFC wearables, facial recognition, and geolocation. We'll start on the left with fingerprint. All you do is touch that button, then your panel lights up with the fingerprint. On the order confirmation screen, it says authorize this charge. You say yes, and it says place your finger on the scanner. So you place anyone's finger on the scanner, you get a real fingerprint on the screen, and that's where you, as a tour guide, begin to talk about how the fingerprint templates are extracted. Once this is finished, it moves directly into a fingerprint explainer video of how they're captured. So you can talk to your guests about optical and capacitive scanning. You can talk about how templates are extracted using ridges of light or electrical current. We talk a little bit about how fingerprint has become more pervasive because of Apple, Samsung, and all the other phone manufacturers. How they're stored locally, because that's important. The growth of the market. So these are all conversation points for you to discuss with your guests, and we'll give you all these scripts. The second station is the NFC and wearable station. So you'll see that one lights up. You get your order confirmation receipt again. Authorize this charge, yes. And we have provided you with 2 of these rings. You just simply put it close to the panel and you'll see an approved sign on that sign. And then a video begins about NFC and wearables. And this video talks about how these devices are tokenized, how any device, refrigerator, car, can have a token, how it's mapped to a pan, and then how multiple tokens can exist for the same pan. We can talk through how the token is sent to VisaNet and performs a series of authentication checks, identifying the card, the issuer, the merchant, and risk. We can also talk here about domain controls, that this token might only be authorized for certain types of charges, like beverages, apparel, and sporting goods. So you can talk about how domain controls can be set for any type of token, and it gives you a lot of control over how tokens are used. Talks a little bit about how the market is growing, how retailers are starting to adopt them. So these are all great points for you to talk to your tour guests about. The third station is facial recognition. So you hit that button, that station lights up, and then you put someone in this red frame. So if you move in or out, it doesn't capture. But once you're in, for a couple of seconds, it'll freeze it, and it's caught that person's scan. So then we begin the facial scanning video. So we talk a little bit about how scans are captured, looking for edges and landmarks to determine it's a face. Then checking that it's alive by mapping its 3D movements in space, so it's not a photo or a video. Then we talk a little bit about how you can authenticate using a database of faces. We're not going to have a global database, but merchants may have individual face databases, or Visa may decide a different way. Accuracy is improving, but there are ways of fooling facial cameras, so there's a story about that we'll tell you later. Different types of biometric authentication, and then how much adoption is increasing all over the world. Airports are the main places that are starting to adopt facial recognition as a ubiquitous technology. The fourth station is geolocation as a factor of authentication. So you touch the button. This phone is the fourth station. It represents how the phone will be geolocated. So in this case, you're going to have a guest pull the phone out. They get their order confirmation, authorize this charge, say yes, and then the phone also asks if you're okay to authenticate this charge. You say yes. So the phone begins a short video about how it is locating itself, sending its location to VisaNet. And then as soon as this is done, a large video begins on how VisaNet has tracked this phone in space, and how it's located you here in Washington, D.C., and how it has identified the location that you're at. We actually have it here at the block where the Visa DC office is, that the merchant name would be Penn Quarter Sports Tavern, the transaction's been authenticated. So this is how you can talk about Visa using location services as a factor of authentication. So those are the 4 stations. Once you're back to the home screen, you can activate any of the 4 at any time. If you decide that you want to just play a video, yes, no. You can play the video and then hit the close button. So that always takes you back to the home screen. And that's basically it. That's good for now.
You did great.
Fantastic.